Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Whimsy Wednesday. It's not very often I get to do a Whimsy Wednesday in the morning anymore. After several months of, doing every video in the morning before breakfast, it's kind of nice to do this again. I will admit I'm not sure that I'm fully awake because I haven't completely had all of my tea. I haven't had breakfast. I'm now realizing I haven't taken my meds. So, we're gonna do a video. Alright, so I wanted to start out by saying, wow, it's sunny. It's like really sunny, which is lovely. I totally have migraine hair. This is actually less weird and frizzy, and I don't know what was going on than it was a little while ago. But yeah, lovely storm gave me, a 2-day migraine. Delightful, not. I wanted to share Clara's bird. This is Bird. And Clara is watching through the curtain right now, so I will give her bird back. Bird was a last minute, let's give this a try purchase with her last Chewy order. This is the bird that I could not get to make its noise. And weird out, it's not about squeezing it, you just gotta move it. It makes this little noise. It's so covered in hair. Here you go, Goose. Have a bird? Yeah, she loves her bird, so she is now hugging Bird. Yeah, it's really sunny. Oh no, Bird fell down. You gonna get Bird? May or may not get Bird. Alright, so Bird gets played with a lot, and I gotta say, I really enjoy, I'll be laying on the couch, and she'll have Bird down, the hallway or in the bedroom, and I'll hear drip, 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 drip. And it's actually just a sound that I can enjoy without finding annoying, which is nice. So, alright, yeah, I guess I'm not awake. Oh, this, I forgot. This too is now covered in Clara fur. So, I won myself a birthday gift. Goodness gracious! I didn't realize, okay, she was loving up on this when I opened it yesterday. I showed her, and she was rubbing all over it. So there's some of the online, on Facebook, auction-y things. And, so usually I just sit and watch. But this came up, and I'm like, oh, he's so cute. And I'm like, I do have a birthday. So I won myself a little birthday earrings and necklace set. And they're like kitties. So they're kitties from the back, and these are silver. And there's the sun flash, and here's the Clara Rose. So they arrived, and they are actually even cuter than I thought. They're more petite, which I like petite things. So it's a necklace and it's an earring set, and they're yeah, a size that I like. I was surprised to see they came all wrapped up in their cute little box. So they did a really nice job shipping them, because I didn't anticipate with the amount of jewelry pieces they were selling to have, hey, I need that. Yeah. I didn't anticipate them coming in a box. I just figured, oh, wrapped up in some tissue paper. Okay, honey, you gotta go back over because I want to show them some stuff. Alright, so today's project. No, finally doing a project. We're going to start. I'm going to show you how to do my woven pin cushions. So they're basically ribbon on a kitty fur covered pin cushion right now. I swear. I know it's still winter, but we're definitely doing the spring shed. So it's daily of the different brushing techniques. So there's the brush. There's this sticky mat thing that gets the other fur. So the brush gets the little fuzzy furs, and the mat squishy thing gets the big long furs. And then she's got her like bath wipes. And it creates clouds. And then at the same time, I've got the wool out for winter hoods because I still have a few more of those I have to get done for something. And there's just fuzz everywhere. It's Clara fuzz. It's wool fuzz. There's some poly fuzz. Yeah. All right. Anyway, back to the pin cushions. So basically, they're woven ribbon. Originals are found like this, and then also diagonal. I haven't done the diagonal yet. I need to do a diagonal. So this is with plain ribbon. These are actually silk hem bindings that I had in a scrap bag. This one is the ombre ribbon. And it creates those nifty pinwheels going on in there. This one has the picot edge on one side. I'm going to recommend not using velvet ribbon. I did a few of these. I hate how they came out. They're all clunky. These live over with the dolls, and Clara occasionally steals them. Now for the backs, you can use silk and you can use cotton. All right. So let's talk materials. You're going to need a 4-inch square of scrap fabric. Cotton preferably. I had been using like white, but the chunk of white that I found this morning I'm pretty sure is supposed to be for something else. So 1 4-inch square. Then for the back, I actually want you to cut 2 rectangles that are 4 by 3. All right, this is going to have them overlap. This is different than what I have here. I think this is going to be easier for folks. If not easier, it's going to be neater for the turnaround. All right, so I have those. And then you're going to need ribbon. Okay, so this is probably what I'm going to use. I'm going to give my cotton sateen a try because I haven't done that yet. This is the narrow 1/4 inch. This, I think, is 3/8. That we're not using down there. Other options, you could definitely use some scrap seam binding. This has a nifty little edge that could come out cute. I suggest at least 2 different colors, different kinds. You could definitely use a wide assortment. I don't know about sheer ribbons. Multicolored stripes definitely come out really neat. Oh, here's a little. I've yet to use bias cut ribbon. It's not technically ribbon. I don't know how that will come out. I don't know what else is in here. I'm going to use the other. All right. So front, back, ribbon, lots of batting. All right. Always going to end up using more batting than you think you're going to use. And a pillow or a ham. This is a ham. Hi. You do not need a cat. This is actually one craft where the cat will cause more of a problem. You need pins, thus not a cat. All right, so what I'm gonna do is move the camera down. All right, good. We can see things without seeing the mess. All right, and you're gonna need to take, I'm gonna start with our scrap fabric square. I'm gonna discard that one because that one apparently I didn't cut square this morning. All right. They were ironed when I got them out, I swear. All right, so we're going to draw 1/2 inch edges on this. So what you're gonna really end up with is a 3-inch pin cushion. All right. So we're going going to just do 1/2 inches all the way around. And here's the nifty thing. I'm doing this on the wrong side. But this will be where the ribbon goes. Since this is where I'm drawing it, I think I would have a difficult time seeing it from the other side. But in this case, your wrong side is going to become your right side. Alright, because that's where the ribbon's going to live. Strategically place the ruler up there. Alright, let's get out our pillow or our ham and lay it on there. I think we can see pretty well, right? Alright. So, yeah, I'll do one that's going to be different widths. I think. Hey, it's the other thing I've had out, feathers. Alright, so you're going to cut 4-inch long pieces, okay? Now, if you get a little tight, you can definitely do 3.5. And we will run these along here, like so. You do need a good amount. I should have done the math for you. You're gonna need a couple yards of each ribbon. So these are 4-inch sections, and I'm probably gonna have 7 of them by the time I'm done. So that's basically a yard. 4 times 7, 28. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7. So that's a yard of this wider one. Well, shy of a yard of this wider one. And then the narrower the ribbon, the more you're gonna need. Do I wanna do green? What do I wanna do? I like the bold differences. Actually, these two would look pretty together. The narrower the ribbon, the harder it is to make sure you have enough going across. We have that little pesky little feathers back. There we go. Now, of course, we're just going to get started today. I'm going to cut some of these down here. I should have pre-cut some of these. Alright, so I think of this narrow ribbon, it's almost half the width. I'm probably going to end up needing closer to 1.5 yards, 2 yards. So I hope that helps me figure it out, like what you need. What do we do? Right. The thing is I don't need to tack these down quite yet. I'm going to tack the blue ones down first, I think. I can probably do these all together. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7. So yeah, we're going to need twice as many. And I seem to be cutting them a little shorter. So be careful of that. There we go. I'm realizing when I was thinking about this, when I'm, I am half asleep, I tend to do this. I did tell myself, oh, make sure I use wider ribbons because it's going to take less time. Oops. Oh well. The only catch is I have to get this uploaded before I leave for my massage. Because today is massage day. A much, much needed massage. That should be enough. Let's see if I'm right. They've gone over. Dun, dun, dun. How do we do? Yep, I ended up with one more. Two more. Don't worry. The extras can get used as loops. Loops are fun. What do I mean by loops? This one's got a loop. This one's got a bow. Alright, so this is where we see if I have enough pins out. What we're gonna do, we're gonna pin down. This is where our pillow comes in handy. I'm gonna make sure we pin this down. Line the first one up with the line that you drew, okay? And then we're gonna snug the next one in right next to it. Now I'm pinning these at a slight angle, okay? Just do all the ones down this side. Okay. All right, now we're gonna do the top. And line it up with the line. Are probably in the way. Let me rock this forward. I'm pinning these in. And these are the glass-headed silk pins. I think that's what they were listed as. I hear her fidgeting over there. This one's curling up. Come and scoot down. There we go. Yes, I talk to inanimate objects. I suspect more and more of us are doing that. I'm just making sure the selvage edges are lining up right next to each other. Alrighty. Now, there we go. So we're going to run out of pins. And this one squeezes in just barely next to the line. Okay. Pardon my sniffle. Continuously sniffling. Alright. Grabbing a little bit of thread here. And I'm going to tack these down along the side and along the top. I'm going to turn this so it's easier for me to get in here. Realizing my blue one did not quite make it to that line. There's some overlapping going on. There we go, that's a little better. All right, so I'm going to tack each of these in their space. Now here's the catch. You gotta put your needle through, but not catch your pillow or your ham. I actually had made myself a little styrofoam based pillow for doing this. Do you think I have a clue where I put it? Nope. When I organized that millinery room, put things away a little too well. It is okay to move these long bits out of the way. We're just trying to get this tacking stitch just outside of the blue sided line here. That made no sense. The line along the blue side. All right, and I did double stitch the first one, single stitching on the in-between ones. I'm going to double stitch here before going around the corner to the maroon burgundy. Okay, so here's a confession. I have the worst time telling the difference between maroon and burgundy. I have to put them side by side. And then I have, a wine can go into that category too. Aqua and turquoise. I have to put those side by side. I know, so it's like I work with flowers and ribbons on a regular basis, and I have trouble telling which ones are which. So like if I'm trying to find an aqua ribbon, I tend to buy the aqua and the turquoise, and then I put them side by side. What's the other one? Teal. So those subtle shades between the blues and the green, and then the subtles between the, I guess those are the purples and the reds. All right, I'm gonna pause a second, okay? Okay, so I'm sitting on an antique chair. All right, reality is most of the chairs in my apartment are antique, or reproduction of an antique. And if I sit on this just wrong, my leg falls asleep. It basically cuts off the nerve on the back of the leg. I find antique chairs have to be just the right height for extended comfort. All right, how are we doing on time? All right, not too bad. I think I'm going to show you as far as weaving these. Now, of course, you could do, I'm using 2 colors, so that's what I recommended, but you could go with more. You could alternate along each side. You could do different widths, different colors. You could definitely make a bigger pillow rather than a pin cushion. I've actually thought about taking random ribbons, bigger ribbons, like the kinds that come from packaging, and making an actual pillow out of the woven ribbons. Come on, you're the last one. Don't be difficult. You do different shades of the same color. You could do, you could do different prints, like polka dots and zigzags. And for a modern, like, pillow, you could do bunny rabbits and things. Something really cute. All right. So I have now gone all the way to the edge. Don't worry about knotting that off. Now we're going to weave these. So let's take all but this one out of play. And then we're going to pick up every other blue one and lay down the red one. So this is going to make little rectangles. And here's the trick. You take the pin from the top and move it down to the bottom. And again, put it through at, in this case, instead of going all the way down into my pillow, I'm actually going to skirt along underneath so it comes back up through. That's because later I might want to pick this up. Or you can just do the tacking down like I did before. All right, second one, I'm going to use this one here. Let's tilt that. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. And I have to pick up the first blue one instead of the second one. And lay that down, tilt that forward. I should have tilted forward on the first one. Sorry about that. And again, pick up every other blue and lay down your red. And then scoot it back over. Use your finger. Make sure it's nice and tight. And then bring down the pin. You know what? I am going to stick these into the... And we're just going to pin this like I did the other. I mean, tack like through the other. All right, so there's the first two. Looking kind of cute. All right. So, there's the third. And I think this is where I'll leave you. I want you to continue all the way to the far end. All right. You want to make sure you scoot these back because otherwise you're going to get a curve in there. And continue to pin these. Okay. When you get all the way to the side, move these pins over here to the side, okay? That way your blue ribbons are pinned down. Or in your case, your horizontal ribbons, that's what I mean. Right. This is where it's nice and relaxing. Just kind of weaving. And next time I'm going to show you how we're going to tack around the whole thing. And then we'll combine the front and the back. There we go. All right. Enjoy the rest of your week.